Hey everybody, welcome back. It's now my first video that I'm filming in 2023, I'm pretty sure, and also the first video I'm filming since we got married on the 14th. So I got both my rings on now, having a lot of fun, kind of seeing how they complement each other. Don't mind my nails. These were my wedding nails, and as you can see, fingers 3 through 5 held up really nicely over the last 2 weeks. These two fingers obviously have seen better days. I haven't had time to fix them yet. But yeah, we're going to pick up where we left off. I know that the week of my wedding and then the week after my wedding, there were like no videos. You know what? I just realized I lied about this being the first video filmed in 2023. I think I filmed a few videos like that very first week of January. That feels like a million years ago at this point. But yeah, have not had a lot of videos go up except for the week that we were gone for our honeymoon. So we're gonna pick this up. I meant to have this video up like last week, but I'll be honest, the last 2 weeks of wedding planning right up to the wedding were really stressful and just kind of like dealing with contingency plans because it did end up pouring rain on our wedding day. So we had to figure a lot of things out, and then there were other situations that were going on at the last minute as well. So it is now January 29th, and I think we're starting to settle back into a normal routine. So we're gonna get back into filming videos. So we're here for a flip through of 2022. Today we're gonna focus on April through June. So let's just get into it. I just talked a lot. So April was a pretty simple month. Deep into the semester, we were kind of still wedding planning, but we had other fun stuff going on as well. My fiance got a new job, which was really exciting because it's provided a lot more stability. This was the first week of April. I was using some Easter leftover stickers, and this was when he found out that he got the job, which was awesome. We also bought John Mulaney tickets, and we went to a wedding show in our community, which was fine. I don't think, did we get anything out of that? We got a few photography contacts because we hadn't booked a photographer yet. But other than that, we got free food. Yeah, it was fine. Wedding shows are fun. I think they're more fun if you're shopping for a lot of individual vendors. It was also like they decided to blast the music in there, which was not very helpful for talking to people, but my camera battery is definitely nearing the end of its life, so we'll see how far we get with this. I asked my childhood friend to be my bridesmaid this weekend, so that was fun. And then we went out to celebrate at a restaurant in Orange called OC, and we ran into someone that Nathan knew in high school, and she congratulated us on our engagement earlier in the year. That was fun. And then this was the week of Easter. It was 9 months till our wedding. I went dress shopping at a second David's Bridal, and they ended up showing me a lot of the same stuff that I'd already tried on, honestly. So I did decide to order some samples from Azazi for my wedding dress. And ultimately, spoiler alert, I went with Azazi. We went to brunch on Easter, which was really fun. We don't often like do anything on Easter, so that was cool. And then this particular week, I went to my sister's sailing regatta, so I used like leftovers from an Itty Bitty Sticker Co. Olympics kit because I felt like that fit. We were definitely narrowing down our photography options this week. And then I was trying on the Azazi samples, and I had to vacuum up like a bunch of glitter from one of the dresses. And then I also did like a Zoom try on with my sister and my friend, because they were the ones who were available to give me some input. And then we had a planner meetup in Long Beach. That was cool. Wish I had more of those in my life. And this was the last week of April. I was trying on the dresses one last time because that was the really nice thing about doing a try at home, like from an online website. Like you can try them on as many times as you want without feeling rushed, which is really cool. We watched Turning Red. Great movie. I love that movie. And then I had Nathan take my measurements for a custom size from Azazi, and I said yes to the dress. So I ordered my wedding dress on May 1st. I think that's most of what happened this week. Then we move into May, which was a very busy month. Had lots going on because it was my birthday and we went camping, and then amongst all of that, grades were due. So my end of semester came up. This was the week that we booked our photographer finally. I loved them. They're a husband and wife couple. The wife is so sweet. So is the husband, but he's a little more quiet. She's the outgoing one. They were a great team. And then we went to see John Mulaney at the Hollywood Bowl, which was a fun time. We got all dressed up because that was a request from him. And that was most of it for this week. This was the week of my 30th birthday. We decided we were going to go to Disneyland the next week because it was my fiance's last day at his old job. So he was going to have the next week off in between jobs. I turned 30 here, and there's an extender here for all the things that we did. We went wine tasting, and I asked my fiance to watch Homeward Bound with me because he'd never seen it, and it gives me all the nostalgia feels. And then the very next day, we did our engagement photos because that just worked out for when our photographer was available. So we did our engagement photo shoot on our 4-month engaged milestone. And then this was the last week of classes for spring semester. So I really liked this kit. This was really pretty. I went back and forth like a million times as to what kit I was using the week of my birthday, but I'm really happy with how this one turned out. The cute little fox. And then the next week, we went to Disneyland, mostly for Galaxy's Edge, because I hadn't been on the Rise of the Resistance ride, and I really like how this turned out. So there's, of course, an extender over here on Monday. We were able to go on a Monday because my classes were done for the semester, so I worked like over the weekend to make up for it for grading, and then my fiance had this whole week off. My sister graduated from community college. What else happened? We watched Homeward Bound 2, which is arguably not as good, and then we got our sneak peek engagement photos. And then we had another planner meetup. I forgot about that. So this was a fun week. Lots of grading in between though. And then this was the next week. We went camping up in Idlewild. I finished up all the grading here. My wedding dress arrived. So remember, I ordered it May 1st. It got here custom sized and all on May 25th. That's pretty impressive. So I tried on my dress. And then, like I said, we went camping. So I have 2 extenders here. I don't know where I got cut off, but I have 2 extenders over here to mark all of the fun times we had on our camping trip. So that was a really nice short trip. We had meant to go camping there a couple years ago, but then the campgrounds got shut down during COVID. So we finally got to go out there. And that's the end of May. We're headed to June, which was a really busy month. There were so many things going on with my family. So let's talk about those. This was the first week. I did a rainbow-themed week to kick off Pride Month. I think this year I'm going to try and get an actual Pride kit because most of the time what I've done is just I do a rainbow week, but I do want to get a Pride kit this particular year. And this was where I got back into wedding planning because at the end of spring semester, I was like, I need a break because I just need to focus on getting all my work done. I was also, like I said in the last video, teaching a totally new class. So like besides wedding planning, I had plenty going on in my life. So like we were looking into website options and counseling for premarital counseling. Marked that it was Pride Month, of course. And then, we found a new dumpling place that we really like. And then we were starting Stranger Things, the 4th season, because I think that came out this week. And I booked a videographer. Originally, I didn't have videography in the budget, but I found someone who would just give me the raw footage, and I can edit it myself. So I'm really glad that I found that option. This was the week of my second sister's graduation from college in San Diego. Also, a bunch of my other siblings came down and we went to Catalina Island. So that was this whole day. It was a very long day, but well worth it. And then they came over for dinner this evening as well. So that was a lot of fun. And then this day we went to my sister's graduation in La Jolla. This was kind of a cluster, but once we got there, it was a good time. So that was fun. And then I relaxed the next day because the day before had been so stressful. This was a kit to mark Juneteenth. Not a whole lot going on this week. We were engaged for 7 months, this was 7 months till our wedding. I was booking my New York and Pittsburgh trip, so I booked flights and Amtrak and the hotel and all of that. I was reading a Toni Morrison novel. And then we got all of our engagement photos back this day. So Nathan was working on our website. We were booking wedding ring appointments and then also just brainstorming all sorts of other things that we could potentially do for our wedding. So pretty simple week, summer break type of week. This was the week of the one who graduated from college a couple weeks before this, her birthday. So I used a kit that like very much reminded me of her. So we were working on invitation samples and the website for our wedding. And I figured out my hair and makeup and hired someone for that. We were having thunderstorms, so even in the summer, sometimes it rains out here. You just never really know what the weather's going to be like. Roe v. Wade got overturned. If you want to know my thoughts on that, go back and watch that plan with me. I kind of summed it up there. And then we did meet with a counselor this day. We ended up not going with that counselor just because it wasn't really going to work for like premarital counseling. And then just other small wedding things here and there, kind of figuring out who we're inviting and all of that. And we went to a Pride event in our town. It was the first time that they actually had one. So that was really good. I'm hoping that they continue that this year. And then this is the last week we're going to cover in this video. This was the week of my family reunion in Monterey. So I used this kind of beachy themed kit. So we were 200 days away. We did decide to postpone ordering our save the date cards until after we got back from this trip, just because I was feeling really overwhelmed and like we were rushing. And it worked out because they still arrived on time and we still mailed them out like a little more than 6 months before our wedding date, which was my goal. So it all worked out in the end. That was the theme of the wedding, was it all worked out in the end. But yeah, this date we left for Monterey. We stopped in Santa Barbara and Paso Robles. We had some really good sushi. I was freezing though because it was like 60 degrees in Monterey in July, which is pretty typical. And then I did a couple of extenders here for all of the little things that we did while we were in Isolamar, which is more specifically where we were staying. Kayaking, lots of dinners, biking, lots of game nights, lots of my siblings being strange because that's how they are. I'm kind of the same way. And then this was the day that we went home. We stopped in Paso Robles again and in Solvang. And by the time we got to Solvang, I'm like, I just want to be home because I was tired. And we were reunited with our kitty cat. So lots of family time this week. I really love the colors of this kit actually. And I don't normally like pastels. But yeah, that was the family reunion week. And that is going to be the end of this video. So that's April through June 2022. I hope you enjoyed hearing about that quarter of my year. Stay tuned for next time when we talk about July through September, where things start to get pretty intense with wedding planning. So I will see you then. Bye!